Plugged in now? We check the organ. Volume. Pipe organ. Take off all of the other things. The next piece was this is for sixth graders too. This is definitely our longest piece and our hardest piece for concert band. I'd like to say something about concert band. People in concert band, for the most part, either started playing last year. Some of them actually started this year. We have a few people that started this year as well. And some people have played a little bit longer. Really pleased with them. This is a transcription from the orchestral version, written by Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky in commemoration of the War of 1812 between the French and the Russians. And it starts out with a very soft, prayerful chorale, and it ends loud and bombastic. It's a great deal of fun to play. We hope you enjoy listening to it as much as we enjoy playing. Certainly it's a lot of fun to play. times more fun to play it than it is to listen to it. And I was told that we couldn't use cannon, as is called for in the score, indoors. I don't know why. After all that sound, it's nice to have a soothing soft piece. This is called Trumpet Song. One piece of music was omitted from the program, and although we're going late, I'd really like to include this in the program. The people who are not in jazz band during first period are what we call intermediate bands, with varying experiences. I think it's on the shelf in the room. That's where I saw it. Looking for the score. People in the intermediate band are going to play a piece originally contributed to Franz Joseph Haydn. It's called the Toy Symphony. Some of you may be familiar with it. It was considered a kind of a musical joke at one time, and it's a form of semi-sophisticated musical humor. It's a concerto for toys, a recorder and a tambourine. This has 3 movements to it. Later they found out that it wasn't supposed to be written by Franz Joseph Haydn, but it was written by Leopold Mozart, father of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, who the film Amadeus was created about. And Mrs. Slocum found the score. So Mrs. Slocum is going to conduct the intermediate band from first period in the Toy Symphony. put a couple of, I'd like to make a couple of suggestions to, or put in a couple of plugs for band. We see a lot of people here, but we have a lot of people that go to our school, and we're looking at 6th, 7th, 8th grade. There are some 6th graders that haven't signed up. There are some people that would like to play instruments that aren't here tonight and have never been in bands. They might be somebody in your house, it might be a neighbor, it might be a friend, it might be an enemy, I don't know. We'd like to encourage everybody who likes music to get involved in the band program. I'd like to especially encourage everyone who's been in the 6th grade program to please sign up for band in their junior high school if they haven't signed up already. Our counselors are anxious for as many people as possible to have musical experiences. So is our administration, the whole school is. We'd like to, can't encourage you enough to at least try it in 7th grade. If you don't like it in 7th grade, try basket weaving or something, but I'm sure that 90% to 100% of the people, matter of fact, we always end up with more 8th graders than we do 7th graders because they come in every couple weeks. Somebody else wanders through the room and says, how do I get into band? Now is the time to make sure you're signed up for next year if you're not already signed up. Now the jazz band's going to finish the program with 3 pieces which they've played many, many times this year. First one is called Sweet Swing by Sam Inestico. It starts out with a piano solo by Ronnie Deep, then we have an alto saxophone solo by Amy Simmons. Tenor saxophone solo by Johnny Park. several of the people in all of the bands are 8th graders of these 3 bands. And many of those people have signed up for Oak Grove High School Band, and I understand some of these people will be in New York next Thanksgiving marching in the Macy's parade with the rest of the band. I hope they'll be with the band, but they're marching in the parade. Next year we hope to continue the jazz band and go to Reno, and I hope that watching the beginning to the intermediate to the advanced, you see the progression, and I hope that encourages some people in 6th grade and 7th grade to continue and go on from this to better things too. The next piece is called La Playa, and it has several solos. A baritone saxophone solo by Lee Tucker. We have a tenor saxophone solo by Johnny Park again, and a little alto solo at the end by Amy Simmons. The whole saxophone section is also featured towards the end of the piece. La Playa. Mr. Gonzalez come up here, please? I didn't ask him to come up because people were being too noisy and we wanted to send you the vice principal. Although, this group, every year we try to go to graded festivals because it makes us work a little harder. This year, this band went to graded festivals in Clovis, where 3 people received certificates from the National Association of Jazz Educators. Those are difficult certificates to receive. Ronnie Deep received one for his piano playing. Mike Jackson received one for his percussion work. And John Boren for his trumpet playing. We were real surprised and pleased, and they were one of the few groups that day that were awarded special certificates in the junior high school level. Then this group also went to the first Santa Cruz, hopefully the first annual Santa Cruz Jazz Festival held in the Santa Cruz Civic Auditorium, and received 2 1s and a 2, an average of a superior rating, which was really excellent. The week before, they went to a CMEA, California Music Educators Association Jazz Festival in SoCal at SoCal High School and received superior ratings. And they also went to the Reno Jazz Festival, as we have done for the last 3 years, and this year received a trophy for 2nd place in the lower division, and we're really pleased and proud of that. These students have earned some special recognition for the school, and everywhere we go, this group has played for about 25 concerts. 25 to 30 concerts this year, counting all of our elementary schools. We've gone to 8 elementary schools and frequently performing twice. Last night we performed for the District Advisory Committee over at Herman School. They performed at Alpine Meadows Ski Area, performed an awful lot. At the various places we've performed, we realized that these students are ambassadors for Davis School, and they've gone around and presented themselves as proud students at Davis, and letting everybody know what a good place this is and all the great things that happen. First of all, we'd like to make 2 presentations because they brought home 2 trophies this year. First is a 2nd place trophy from Reno, and this is from the students to the school, and when they come back to visit, they want to be able to see it hanging in there. So this is the first trophy. And the Reno trophy is pretty special as it is, but this one, although, what's a piece of walnut, I guess, looks kind of special, but it's unique in its own way. I've been in this district since about 1967, and years ago, yeah, you didn't know that, huh? Yeah, that's why I don't get up sometimes as early as I used to. Years ago, from about 67 or 68 until about 1981, we had lots and lots of bands participating in festivals that were hosted by the California Music Educators Association. Dozens of bands, concert bands, jazz bands, orchestras. The highest rating ever received before this was 2 1s and a 2 received by a Davis orchestra a long time ago. This is the first group, and as far as I'm aware, that received unanimous 1s for any instrumental group in the history of the district. And this is the first plaque we've received for an instrumental group. Some vocal groups have done it, but never a band before. So we're real proud of these kids, especially since about 60 to 70% of them started playing last year. So it's just a lot of work, and the work starts rewarding itself as fun. And that's why I wanted to make sure a lot of those 6th graders sign up and keep going, because they could even do better. Well, you didn't hear that, but they could do as well anyway. So this is a special plaque. It's a CMEA plaque, and we're really pleased to present it from all of them to the school. I'd like you to receive it, please.
On behalf of the Davis student body and staff, I'm very proud to accept this trophy and this plaque because I realize that this these two things right here represent a lot of hard work by the jazz band themselves and everybody that participated. Certainly Mr. and Mrs. Slocum, and you as parents, because I know what it takes. I've got a daughter in a band. It means waking them up early, taking them to lessons, maybe replacing an instrument here and there, and so forth. So I realize this represents a lot of hard work and sacrifice. So again, I accept these proudly, and we'll put them in display. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We'd like to conclude the program tonight with a blues called Lionelville, and it has a number of solos, quite a few solos, and that's one of the things that makes it special. One of the things we've learned to do is play our instruments, play solos, and we've learned also to improvise solos. Improvised solo is a solo that's made up as you go along with certain guidelines. We're going to hear improvised solos tonight by Johnny Park. I'd like to make a comment. I'm really pleased with Johnny Park and Lee Tucker, who also, they started in the Red Book playing Old MacDonald just about a year ago. So they made tremendous progress. They're going to, Johnny Park's going to improvise a solo. John Bourne, Chris Childs are going to each improvise a solo, and then they're going to try to improvise a duet. Cross your fingers, because you never know when they improvise, but I think they'll do well. And okay, Chris Childs will be first, and then John Bourne. We also have a number of prepared solos. We have a baritone saxophone solo prepared, a bass solo, a trumpet solo by John Bourne, a trombone solo by Brian Stewart. This is called Lionelville. like all the 6th graders, 7th and 8th graders, and all the groups to stand up, and I'd like everybody to give them a good round of applause before we go home. Good work, people. Thank you, and good night.
You're watching Request.
His bachelor party, that's right.
What is your line of business?
Unemployment line.
Knock at the country. That's the rule.
Get back. Ooh, step back, Satan.
Kid and Play. Tisha Campbell. TLC. Bernie Mac. House Party.